Yes, there you are.
Oh,
Very good. So, 1 second, please.
yeah, that's right.
So you're Thomas?
No, I'm actually not Thomas. I'm Kent Killerhertz. I'm the drummer of the band.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah, David said I'm talking to Thomas,
yeah,
but
that's right. But he couldn't. Yeah, was incapable of doing the interview today. And I actually do the most of the interviews. So yeah.
that's fine with me.
So you got me instead.
That's
And
that's dope.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, just let's dive right into it. And
yeah,
yeah, to you and all of the people that will later on watch this, please excuse if I sometimes just yeah, I'm not the best English speaker when I'm yeah, sometimes I'm just losing the track, you know, the train of thought. It's like oh yeah, I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to put it in English. So
well,
sometimes I use little tricks like in German, I would say. So
yeah. I understand some German. I had it for 3 years back in school in the 80s. So, but it's not perfectly. But I have ADHD, so I know what you mean.
yeah, I don't know. Me and my brother were diagnosed with something along those lines too. I think in the 90s. It's
Yeah,
hyperactivity. What was the name for it at that point in time?
yeah. I know the Danish word "dagbaren," but yeah, they didn't use that ADHD disorder. What did it called? I can't remember actually.
No problem.
But,
We will get back to it
but
if that comes back to your mind.
probably,
So,
probably. So,
um,
but thanks for having me and the Killerhertz, Dennis, at Schwermetallisch.
I can tell you, American people really struggle with that one. It's
Yeah.
Schwermetallisch at
Well,
best.
as I said, I had 3 years of German in school, back in school. Well, in Denmark, it's almost obligated to have German. We can English, of course, but German and French as well. So
Yeah, I remember that my family and me were in Sebi in the late 80s.
yeah,
It was like oh, it can be that it was already the 90s. I was like I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, and yeah, that's probably were the most beautiful beaches I ever saw in my life because of the dunes, and you don't get that when you drive to the Netherlands, for example. It's a
no,
totally different landscape, and I really did like the burgers and the pölzers.
yeah, Wurst.
Yeah, that was a worst case scenario.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at the sand there, when I have actually visited that place, and I had my arm in a casket, and fell down those sand cliffs and broke, it again. So yeah, a cozy time. I remember that was I think that was actually the late '80s, so long time ago.
Yeah, but I still love the 80s. Yeah, when
Same
it comes
here. Same here.
to the 80s, of course, we have to speak about music, and that is why you're actually here in this virtual living room, kinda. You guys are releasing the new record Starburst next Friday on the 7th of October. Yeah. And
Got a new mark. Yeah.
the first question I always ask in these times is how was the creative process and the recording process in pandemic times?
Yeah, it was a totally different process for us. Actually, this album, if you compare it to the earlier releases, it took almost a year. But this actually only took 3 months to write.
Ah,
And all the writing process was made by Thomas. Because due to the COVID situation, we couldn't rehearse together. Our former lead guitarist is an ambulance chauffeur. So he was, battling this thing in the front line. I'm an asthmatic person at the same time, so this was no way gonna happen. We were gonna play together, and we only actually rehearsed few hours, only 3 of the tunes, and the rest of them I actually, learned them in the studio when we recorded, because we recorded it all separately as well. So completely different process. But actually we learned a lot from it. Sound, all the way through the earlier albums. We rehearsed them at our rehearsal room together, building up the tunes. This time, Thomas actually just made it all at home. So there was no intervening from any of us, bass, drums, or so on. So we could just silently complete it all. And there's it's more combined, all the numbers. It's if you listen to some of the earlier our first record, it has a wider genre messy, some bit fast, and maybe perhaps some bit punk rock and rock tunes. This is more what you call it in English, actually. There's a thin thread, red line in all numbers, because they were written in such a short time. So, yeah.
And I know what word you are searching for. It's like yeah, yeah, and also struggle.
Yeah, I know. You can perhaps say it in German. Perhaps I can understand it and answer you in English, but well.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm struggling for this word too. It's happening sometimes. Even if I'm writing reviews, it's like, okay, stopping dead in the tracks. Like, it's like you're trying to cross a bridge, and a piece of the bridge is just gone.
I know exactly what you mean. And sometimes you're just sitting under it. No.
But I know what you mean if you say a thin red line. I think in English or in America they would understand it the wrong way, but at the German we also say der rote Faden.
Yeah.
And that means that the songs are intertwined, so to say. So you have some kind of journey while listening to it from front to end.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, even the album, the cover and The lyrics as well, you know, it's a journey from start to beginning, you know, a restorative journey through life, you know, a process. When a person, you know, hits a few bumps on the way in life, you know, and then rise again, you know. Existentialism, you know, it's an album. It has a beginning and an end, and the cover, you know, we tried to describe it at the same time, you know, a starburst, you know, when something dies, you know, something new starts to live, and
That's some kind of angel of death witnessing the death of a planet.
yeah, almost, yeah, but the devilish woman, well, yeah. Some of us guys have met some of those in our lives, you know.
Yes, I know.
So, so it's more referring to that, you know. Well, perhaps women can be a little devilish. We can be too, of course, but yeah, that's life, you know.
Yeah, some people are just shitty.
Yeah, exactly. And you know it. Oh shit, this is not a good relationship for me, but I will try, and then, well, it ends off. You will perhaps get dumped, or yeah.
Yeah,
So
sometimes you just stay in a relationship because you are in the misconception of thinking that love really has to hurt, but that's
yeah,
fucking wrong.
exactly. So that's, yeah, bit of the process, you know. Yeah. Um, Friday we're gonna release. We have a album reception at Friday, so we're pretty excited for that. Made T-shirts, two different T-shirts, and, well, I don't know, you know, patches, posters, and so on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, a lot, yeah, of my friends and other bands we know will attend. Yeah, excited, and yeah, and we are free in the band, you know, and we are at the moment, you know, perhaps getting a fourth, so we can start, you know, planning concerts for next year. We haven't played live here in under the COVID, so that's a few years. So pretty excited. Want to play live?
Yeah, I totally get that. I'm not in a band or something like that, but well, me and my brother, we used to visit our share of gigs a year, and to not do this for 2 years is really a massive cock block.
Yeah. It is, and well, they started you know, playing concert where you can sit down with your mask on. I don't want that. You know, I don't want to be a spectator. I can't sit down. You know, ADHD. You know,
Yes.
And with the music playing, you know, I need to move. You know, I need to. So and I don't know. For a band playing to that kind of audience, well, that must be a bit odd as well, you know. A new experience, of course.
The band can sit down too.
Yeah.
Like MTV Unplugged, you know. Everyone is sitting. No one is having fun.
No.
So
I'm gonna have a hard time, you know, on the drums, because I am, you know, energetic, you know, and arms, yeah,
flipping around.
Dynamic, you know, yeah, exactly, you know.
Yeah, but you're sitting anyways, so very active version of sitting.
Yeah.
Okay, but sitting nevertheless. What are your favorite tracks of Starburst for you to play?
Oh, my favorite. I like Chasing Ghosts because it has different drum sections in it, and the drum section in Chasing Ghosts is some of it is inspiration from Mike Portnoy. So it was having those fills in it, and those sections was quite fun to make, and it came to me in when we were in the studio when I'm planning on getting the drums down. So Chasing Ghosts and The Deceiver, that's the second tune on the album. Hard to play for me. I learned the sections in the studio as well. I couldn't play it actually when I went to the studio, so it was challenging, very challenging, and but I like the challenging tunes, so those are some of my favorite. Yeah.
Maybe a stupid question, but if you are assembling songs and you the drummer, say there's parts in that I cannot play, or I'm not able to play yet, and I have to kind of get into it to be able to do it. What is the process behind assembling the drum rhythms and the whole sections? If there are sections you're not able to play, who is in charge of that?
Yeah, when Thomas made the writing and the tune for it, he made some suggestions to the drums, electronic. Oh, you can just play that. It's pretty simple to do on a computer. It's totally different process, to do it in real life on a real drum set. But I like the challenge, and there's a certain feeling, I can't play that. I'm never gonna play that, and try it, slowly, and then get it up to pace, and finally, it's there now, and when you get to that point, that's actually, the most satisfying of it all, and I've learned some new things, got challenged by Thomas and took up the challenge and did it. That's some of the most satisfying thing you can do as a musician.
Yeah, I can imagine that's
according to me.
Sounding like a cool feeling to have.
Yeah.
The press text says your music is inspired by bands like Metallica and Megadeth, and even the touch from Volbeat. But when I listened to The Wait for Closure, the first thought that came to my mind when listening to Thomas' vocals was there is a bit of Pretty Mates in his vocals.
Yeah. I think I heard a guy said that too, actually, with Pretty Mates and we have a Danish band called Disneyland After Dark, d.a.d.
Yeah.
And the front singer Binzer, a guy said that too. Oh, you sound a bit like Binzer as well, and well. You're not wrong, actually.
The kind of pressure he's putting on his pipes.
Yeah.
This is like there's a kind of bass in the vocals that doesn't fit to the overall style of clean singing. And you have the same thing with Ronnie Atkins' vocals. He's normally when he's singing clean and like a ballad, he's sounding very much like a rock singer, not like a metal singer. and then when he's giving pressure to the vocals, he's sounding totally different, and that's something I instantly heard and thought, okay, yeah, but there's not also Volbeat and yeah, okay, Metallica. I
Yeah,
uh,
but actually was Thomas and I we talked about it before recording the vocals. Perhaps getting a vocal tune. Smoke 2 cigarettes, have a few shots of whiskey. To get that thing. Though not you don't smoke at all, but to getting that voice, not to be too clean, but just a bit more rock heavy vocal sound. Um, yeah, like Ronnie Atkins or Jesper Binz. Yeah. So he was more cleaner voice vocals on some of the earlier releases, and we discussed that it could be cool, to put a bit more pressure to the vocals.
yeah, or have someone else in the band to do backing vocals that has a totally different approach to singing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that the vocalist doesn't have to change anything and unlearn
yeah.
his craft.
But this this album, we tried, to just hide the level, both in the process of making music, but the drums as well, the vocals, guitar, the bass, try to push it a bit higher, push ourselves, and see where it goes. Yeah, and this is the fourth or third full-length album, and our fourth album with the Killerhertz. So musically, we have evolved definitely. A bit more wider sound. We have more keys on this album than I don't think we have it on the first two albums, and it's more heavy. And we have Niklas Sonne at Effecto. He had mixed and mastered it. The first two albums were Flemming Rasmussen, Metallica, Master Puppets, because we want that old 80s sound, and now let's try, the newer sound, updated to 2022 sound, yeah.
Both are pretty good producers, so I get that.
Definitely.
Quick question: best gig, best venue?
For us, or just in general?
First for you, and then in general.
Yeah, we had an album release at something called Lygten, a local place in Copenhagen. There was a lot of attendance, and an almost flawless concert. Yeah, the hours up to the concert, and afterwards, all things just went on a, what you call it, that's the English word I forgot there. Just everything, it just all tied up, and everything came naturally. No big mistakes, yeah.
I have to Google what I thought you might have meant. But I don't know, and I may never knew that word in English. So
What's
like rack wheels? Ja, ineinandergreifen. Ineinandergreifen. So, schauen wir doch mal, was das auf Englisch heißt. Ja. Äh,
That was a completely new German word. I've never heard that one before.
yeah, to interlock, like rack wheels, interlocking, and
Yeah,
everything just going smoothly.
yeah, exactly. Everything was just, in perfect order. Yeah, um,
Thank you, Google.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, I have it here. As if I uh, I missed a few words or something, but well, yeah. Um, but the concert we have had, yeah, I've had a concert, where I forgot to, eat dinner and didn't have any, food in my stomach and played high energy. I When I play drums, yeah, I have one beer, then it's water and nothing more, perhaps a soda or something, but not that much beer. But I didn't have anything in my body, food or anything, energy. So when the concert was finished and I completely went down and actually slept on the toilet for 3 hours. So that was you know rock and roll life.
Yeah, that reminds me of a few years ago when my brother and me were really partying hard, and like on the birthday you had 50 people in your flat, and you had lots of beer and booze, and
Yeah,
it was almost always the same. I was the first one to go. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to bed. Bye. I'm
yeah.
full.
And I didn't even went that far. We started, to get our gear out after the concert, and I just go, oh shit, I couldn't focus, I couldn't see, I couldn't lift. So I just thought, well, I'm going to the toilet, I need to pee. Just got out and just sat down and said, I'm done. I couldn't, I'm done. So when I woke up, the bar almost closed. There was, you know, a couple of guys left, and some of a waitress, just, cleaning the cleaning the bar up, and getting to the toilet, with there was a lot of people, and and just getting out, and there was no one. But the good thing, actually, we forgot some of our gear, so I took that with me where home. So a fun night, but yeah, every evening, every concert has its own charm. So yeah. So my favorite, well, all of them. Just love to play live. Just love to sit behind the drums, just playing. Um, I do it, alone as you practicing, on earmuffs on and have the tracks, our tunes with the metronome on, and just play for myself, and with everything, complete the album just with metronome on it. Just play, uh,
That's
exercise, learning.
keeping you fit, huh?
Yeah, but I'm a high energy person. I I have troubles, sitting down for a longer time. So just, be able just to, just bash for an hour or so, sweating and,
Let loose.
yeah, exactly. And
So
it's uh, uh, what you call it. It's therapy at the same time, so something, I'm angry, or pissed off or some on someone or somebody, idiot politicians, whatever, just let it out on the drums. So yeah,
that sounds
it's
good. I should
a lot
try
of
that one.
therapy for me. Yeah,
So, what was the best band to accompany on tour?
Oh, well, we had a few. We have some of the local bands we played together. Our bassist in the band, Jacob. Um, he came from a band called Knox Train, and they actually were supporting, with us at a concert at Lugton actually. So they were quite good and inspirational. And we had Thomas Pedro, who was the producer on this album, had a band called like Succubi, um, uh, which we played with as well. And yeah, I can't remember them all. Small bands, like us. Yeah. We have a band here called Wasted, an old heavy band from the 80s. Who perhaps is going to play together with next year. I'm looking forward to that, playing with those guys. Yeah. Perhaps, the ambition is perhaps to, support a band like perhaps Volbeat or Megadeth. But let's see.
That's the next question.
Oh, yeah. Being fun, yeah.
Last question. We have 6 minutes left before Zoom will kick our collective butts out of this.
Okay.
So, if you could choose any band on the planet or any bands plural to go on tour with, who would you choose?
Well, that would be, either Megadeth, Metallica, grew up listening to Metallica and Megadeth. Well, lots of other bands as well, but yeah. If you compare the genre and our most, inspirations, it would be, yeah, Metallica and Megadeth, definitely.
Yeah, that could be a cool cross promotion.
If that guy still lived, well, Lemmy.
You should check out the Generals. They sound like a death metal version of Motorhead.
Okay.
It's kind of
the Generals.
Yeah, Swedish guys.
Yeah.
Did an interview with those guys a year ago or something. Also very nice.
Yeah, well, I know a British band called Asomvel. ASOMVEL.
Yes.
Yeah. The front singer, bassist, yes. He has his inspiration from Amy, definitely, and the music as well. It's
I think
more than that.
Many bass players have inspiration from Lemmy or Cliff Burton, and alike. So you say you guys are checking out the possibilities to gig next year? So
yeah. We had plans to a mini tour earlier this year, February, with 8 concerts in 8 days, starting in Hamburg, 3 concerts in Germany, and 3 in Poland, and 2 in the Czechs. But the COVID, came back, and we had to push those concerts. So we're, in the process, of perhaps next year being able to play some international concerts. So
Yeah, that would be nice
yeah,
to promote the new record, of course, and
yeah,
for you to play.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course, concerts in Denmark, but the idea or the plan or the ambitions is to play some concerts in Europe as well. So hopefully next year we could do that. That
Yeah,
would be
good
really
luck with that. I guess if I just hope that COVID doesn't come back like it did before. I saw a lot of gigs for yeah, I saw a lot of gigs this year, and it really feels good to be back, just
yeah.
watching live music, and I guess it will not come back that hard because I really don't want to.
No, I was attending Copenhagen this year, and yeah, Kiss, Judas Priest, Merciful Fate, yeah, some of top bands they had this year, and I actually never seen Kiss before, so seeing their show, well, they're past 70,
Yeah,
all in Gene, but it was pretty awesome show.
yeah, I saw them twice already, and
Yeah,
yeah, really, really a great show.
and seeing Rob Halford, yeah, he turned 70 as well, and still high pitched that voice, vocals is well pretty wild, and Merciful Fate being back, King Diamond is also,
Over
one of
60.
my yeah, yeah, he's mid 60 now, yeah. Yeah, they have lots of fantastic bands. 4 days, I think I saw 22, 23 concerts those 4 days. So
Yeah, that's
it
very
was
nice.
fantastic. So we waited a long time, to open festivals. Yeah, and seeing some concerts. So
Yeah, I wish you the best of luck with the new release on Friday, the 7th of October. You
yeah,
people just go check out the Killerhertz and yeah, buy that album and go to their gigs, of course. And yeah, thank you very much for
yeah,
taking the time out of your Sunday. And
yeah.
yeah, have a
Look
nice
at
one.
YouTube, yeah, Facebook, and so on. Yeah, come in and listen. And thanks for having us, Dennis. Most appreciated.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and have a blasted Sunday.
I will. I will.
Cool.
Bye bye.
See you. Bye.